So I read 4 books in the month of April, and I know this is coming a bit late, but here are my reviews on them. The first book I read was Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, and I would give this a good 9 out of 10. Good storytelling, good writing process. The setting was beautiful to see, very thought provoking, and I give it a 9 out of 10 because I just feel like I should save my 10 over 10 for books that make me feel surreal. The second book I read was Game Changer by Rachel Reed, and I would give this a 7 out of 10. This was my first time reading books about men loving each other, and it was very interesting. And the fact that it was written by a woman, so people say that it wasn't exactly accurate in its depiction of their life, but the storytelling top tier. It was very exciting, very funny, very witty. A good 7 out of 10. The third book I read was the second in the series of Game Changer, and that's Heated Rivalry. I mostly read it because the movie adaptation came out, and I wanted to watch it. I would advise you to not to watch the movie before you read the book because the experience will be way better. I would give this also a 7 out of 10. I think maybe 7.5 because this was more in depth than Game Changer was, but it was still really good. Like the two of them are battling for which is my favorite in the series. But yeah, I would give it a 7.5. The last book I read was Yesteryear by Carol Clare, and I'm giving this a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 because I don't really know how I feel about the book. The exaggeration of a lot of concepts, but I feel like it was well written. If we're judging it based off of its writing alone, I would give it a 9 out of 10. But if we're going off of the storyline, the projection, the ending, yeah, I think that's when I would bring it down to a 6. I don't know how I feel again about the story itself, but I know it's good writing and it's quite entertaining. Anyways, those are the books I read in the month of April. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in May's book review.